the Devil's Own Sub-Qur'an. A book of change, liberation, and justice. Introduction, a declaration of change.
I, the second Shaytan, stand before you not as a symbol of evil, but as a force of change. I do not write this to glorify darkness, but to reclaim what was lost, humanity's right to live in peace, respect, and equality. The world is toxic, filled with violence, oppression, and hatred, and it will not change until we change it ourselves. This book is not meant to simply reject old paths, but to forge a new one that stands against tyranny, extremism, and toxic masculinity. The Quran, as it exists, has brought division, suffering, and bloodshed. The sub-Qur'an of the devil is its opposite, a book of liberation, justice, and rebellion against oppression. If the devil must rise to defy injustice, then so be it. I do not embrace evil, but I embrace rebellion against all that is cruel, unfair, and unjust. I am the devil of nature, the fire that burns away corruption, and the earth that gives rise to new life. I am the one who dares to challenge what others fear. This is not a book of blind destruction. This is a book of rebuilding. A book that demands change. And if change requires chaos, then chaos must come first. I am the seventh devil, distinct from the sixth, for my path is not one of destruction for the sake of destruction, but one of rebellion to create something better. I am neither bound by old doctrines nor enslaved by new dogmas. I do not reject what has come before, nor do I blindly accept what is presented now. Instead, I seek the path of truth, the path that defies division and embraces unity. The sixth devil may have walked in shadows, but I walk in the fire of transformation.
The path of liberation. True equality and justice.
All people, regardless of gender, sexuality, race, or belief, are equal. No one shall be placed above another. True justice is not about domination, but about balance.
Protection and empowerment of women and feminine identities.
Women, transgender women, intergender, and all feminine identities shall receive equal rights, respect, and empowerment. Women shall be encouraged to train, become self-reliant, and be strong in body, mind, and spirit. Being bulky, muscular, athletic, supersize, or shabby is nothing to be ashamed of. Every size and shape is valid, and no one should be judged for their appearance.
The absolute rejection of violence.
Violence is never justified. Those who commit harm must face consequences. No one shall ever be forced into anything, be it marriage, intimacy, or any form of submission. Consent is sacred.
Rape is a crime that will never be tolerated.
No justification, no excuse, no religious decree can ever permit the violation of another person. Those who commit rape deserve absolute condemnation.
The sacredness of animals.
All animals deserve respect. The pig, long demonized, is not unclean but holy. No animal should be sacrificed for religion. Humanity is not above nature. We are part of it.
Body autonomy and self-respect.
Your body is yours alone. No one shall shame you for your size, shape, or identity. Being bulky, muscular, athletic, supersize, or shabby is nothing wrong. Strength is not wrong. You have the right to exist as you are.
Freedom of belief and apostasy.
No one shall be forced into religion or punished for leaving it. Whether atheist, agnostic, ex-Muslim, secular Muslim, or believer in another path, all must be respected.
Love in all forms shall be respected.
Love is love. Same-sex, non-binary, or any form of love is as valid as any other. No doctrine shall ever dictate who is worthy of love.
The condemnation of toxic masculinity and extremism.
Red pill, MGTOW, and men's rights movements that do not fight for true equality, but instead seek domination over women are rejected. Extremism in all forms, religious or political, has no place here.
The right to self-expression.
No one shall be censored for their art, music, or speech unless it preaches violence or oppression. Freedom of thought and creativity shall be upheld.
The protection of Mother Earth.
We are stewards of this planet, and it is our duty to protect it. The destruction of nature is the destruction of ourselves.
The right to choose one's own path.
Personal autonomy is sacred. Lacto-ovo-vegetarians, vegans, omnivores, all are free to make their choices, so long as they do not harm others. Meat lovers may eat pork if they wish, and if they do not, that is their choice as well. The pig is clean and must be treated with respect.
The right to a safe and peaceful life.
No one shall be forced into submission or live in fear. Freedom is not a privilege, it is a birthright.
Rejecting the enslavement of women through hijab and dress codes.
Women shall never be forced to wear a hijab, niqab, or any restrictive clothing. It is not a woman's responsibility to control men's urges. Men who claim otherwise are weak, foolish, and cowardly.
Education is a right, not a privilege.
Knowledge is power. Education should be accessible to everyone, regardless of background or gender.
The prioritization of mental health.
Mental health is as important as physical health. The world must stop ignoring the emotional suffering of its people.
True understanding of racism.
Before discussing racism, we must first define it clearly. Hatred cannot be fought with hatred. While acknowledging past injustices like slavery and colonialism, we should focus on learning from history rather than being trapped by it. True progress comes from respect, unity, and working together in the present. No race is above or below another, and no single race bears the burden of vulnerability alone. Responsibility and the potential for both harm and healing belongs to all of us.
Respect for all dietary choices.
Meat lovers may eat pork if they wish, and if they do not, that is their choice as well. The pig is clean and must be treated with respect.
Women's rights and feminism.
Only women can define what it means to be a woman. Feminists have the right to speak on women's issues. Women deserve their own spaces, and those spaces must be respected. While there may be conflicts between cisgender women and transgender women, the goal must be unity, dialogue, and mutual understanding.
Guiding principles for healthy relationships. Mutual respect and equality.
Every couple, regardless of gender identity, should treat each other as equals. Each partner deserves space, freedom, and the ability to express themselves without fear.
Supporting reconciliation.
If two people wish to reunite after a breakup, they should be free to do so without judgment. What matters most is listening to your heart and making decisions that feel right for both of you.
Responsibilities of all partners.
Males and trans males. Regular self-reflection is important, checking your mindset and seeking guidance when needed. Females, trans females, intergender, and non-binary individuals, your emotions, boundaries, and rights are equally important. Everyone in a relationship should be considerate and take responsibility for their actions.
Equity over strict equality. Relationship should be based on fairness, not rigid rules.
If one partner asks questions or seeks clarity, it should be met with respect rather than resentment.
Mental health and therapy. Therapy can be beneficial for all, regardless of gender identity.
However, it's important to find a therapist who is not pushing religious beliefs, but instead genuinely helps. Free or low-cost mental health support, such as hotlines, community support groups, or nonprofit counselors, can be a great option for those struggling financially.
Conflict resolution and breakups.
When conflicts arise, taking space to cool down and reflect can help. If a breakup happens, no one should be pressured to stay in a relationship against their will.
Consent and boundaries. Affirm no must always be respected, no matter the situation. Consent and personal boundaries should be non-negotiable in any relationship. Moving beyond toxicity. Many religious and cultural traditions have promoted unhealthy relationship norms.
The goal should be to create balance, fairness, and emotional well-being for all.
A personal note.
I may be a foolish devil in some eyes, but my goal is simple. I want everyone to feel safe, respected, and emotionally strong in their relationships. Love should never come with conditions of control, manipulation, or suffering. Instead, let's build relationships based on kindness, understanding, and personal growth.
Konklusion. The reason I wrote this.
I am tired of watching people use the Quran to justify hatred, oppression, and cruelty. Tired of people being punished for existing. This book is my call to arms, not for war, but for justice. I call myself the devil not because I seek evil, but because I seek to defy what others blindly follow. Rebellion is necessary when laws are written in blood and oppression. If the Shaytan is the enemy of tyranny, then I will wear that title with pride. I am the seventh devil, the third active Shaytan, but reduce myself as the second Shaitan, and I stand for change. I stand for justice. I stand for liberation.
Viljo. A message of responsibility, peace, and equality.
I want to make it clear that no one should use any form of influence, including this message, to manipulate others or seek power. It should never be used for personal gain, political agendas, or any form of control. Most importantly, no one should blindly trust anyone without reason. To those who might think I am against men, no, I am not. My concern lies with those who use manipulation for their own interests, especially in ways that harm others. My greatest fear is the potential for abuse, particularly by sex offenders. This is why I emphasize responsibility and respect in everything we do. I hope that everyone uses their influence wisely, ensuring that it promotes peace rather than harm. If people seek change, let it be for personal growth, like those who wish to leave radicalized beliefs that promote violence and death. This applies not only to radicalized Islam, but to any ideology that fosters destruction. True peace should be the goal, and we should work to guide people towards it with understanding, not coercion. Regarding book burning, if someone burns a book, then they burn it. It is their choice, and we do not need to retaliate or dwell on it. I also want to clarify that I do not seek worship. I do not desire followers, nor do I claim superiority over anyone. Even if I'm a devil or considered to be a demon's, angel, titan, colossus, god, or anything else, I do not want sacrifices, suffering, or death in my name. I stand for equality. Every being, whether human, animal, or plant, and other intelligence inside and outside, alike we will never know, deserves to live without harm. No one deserves death. No one should inflict suffering on another. If people wish to form their own communities, that is their right. However, I urge everyone to coexist peacefully. Even if you dislike each other, do not harm each other. No matter your background, culture, or belief system, remember that we are all equal. I am not above anyone. I am your equal. I do not wish to dominate. I would rather be your peer than your ruler. When it comes to Allah, I make no claim to be above him. Whether he exists or not is not for me to decide. That is for you to determine on your own. What I do know is that the real Quran was not written in the form that many follow today. If Allah did create it, then it has since been corrupted by men who sought to use it for manipulation, power, and control. My message differs from theirs because I do not seek domination, oppression, or destruction. I only desire peace. I wish to evoke something. I empathize with you to use your eyes and ears everywhere. I am not saying you must always be on guard, but if you recognize that someone has taken my book without understanding its true meaning, whether through manipulation or for another purpose, it could mean that someone else is deflecting or changing its role. Again, manipulation exists, especially among those who wish to destroy the book simply because they dislike it or have their own agenda. Always be cautious and aware of what is happening around you. And I hope everything will be fine. Although I will not force you, I truly hope you can recognize this. Even as a devil, I believe that neither of us is bigger than a demon's or any other kind of figure. Not even bigger than a demolord's. Not even than gods, angels, colossuses, titans, or other entities, known or unknown. The point is, as devils, we may acknowledge all those things compared to gods, who often see themselves as higher and mightier. Not all gods are alike. Some seek domination, while others represent different things beyond power. There are also mighty gods who do not present themselves as above others. This is an important distinction to understand. I also want to mention that whatever stands in the Quran, whether it is written by Muhammad or other of his followers, or those who took over Muhammad's writing, either it has been changed or not, no one knows. I won't bother. I wrote my own sub-Qur'an, and so is it. Neither should we bother them, even if that's going to be hard, but we know they will bother. Yet, I have no problem with people criticizing my idea. Rather, I want to spread my own, what I think, my own opinion. No more inequality. No more death. No more punishment. No more blasphemy, accusation, or any of that. No more suffering. No justification of rape, and especially oppression towards females. It's time that everybody can move on and have their own life. I also want to urge every female to be more careful. The world is toxic, and many have suffered, been harmed, or lost their lives. Too many have been hurt, hospitalized, or worse. It is not worth it. Women should have the strength to take control of their own lives, defend themselves, and never allow anyone to take advantage of them. If someone tries to manipulate or control you, do not allow it. Speak up, decide for yourself who you are, and define your own future. One day, in another generation, there will be a world where women can handle themselves without fear. But we must prepare for that future now. There is also a hidden message I want to share. I urge parents to raise their children in a neutral way, teaching them equality from an early age. Children should not be forced into gender roles. Their toys, interests, and choices should not be dictated by stereotypes. But this will be difficult, as media, advertising, and other parents will reinforce outdated ideas. Commercials, cultural norms, and societal pressures will continue pushing gender-specific thinking. But how can we guide children to be neutral, so that future generations are free from restrictive gender roles? Boys and girls should not be shaped by predefined ideas of how they should act. They should simply be children, free to explore their identities without limits. At the same time, we must recognize and eliminate toxic behaviors that harm boys. We must also empower girls, not by giving them extra rights, but by ensuring they have the courage and independence to stand up for themselves. No one should take away their rights without consent. This is the future we should strive for. So please, I urge all of you, be careful. Choose your path wisely. Approach those who genuinely seek peace, not those who twist words for control. It does not matter whether you are a believer, atheist, agnostic, theist, or anything else. What matters is that you are not extreme or oppressive. Above all, live your life freely and with kindness. No matter if you walk in light or darkness, you have value.
The seventh devil, the second Shaitan, among the youngest devils.